My daughter's been missing for the last 31 days.
And you know who has her?
I know who has her. I've tried to contact her. I actually received a phone call today, now from a number that is no longer in service. I did get to speak to my daughter for about a minute.
And you last saw her a month ago?
31 days. It's been 31 days.
Okay, that was 2008. Casey Anthony on the phone with police. Now, she didn't call them. Her mother called them, then handed her the phone. But there, it took 31 days for authorities to be contacted when her child was missing. Okay, when her child was missing. Yet, flash forward 13 years, right? Someone spills water on her leg. She calls police in like 5 minutes. New phone call. She's at a bar in West Palm Beach, Casey Anthony. Apparently, she's got some feud going with this other woman about some guy, and they get into some sort of an argument. She said she was verbally assaulted, and then she called police. Take a listen.
911, what is the address for your emergency?
9 emergency. Can you have West Palm come over for an incident report?
Okay, what is the address?
It's O'Shea's. It's right next to the department. It's in the 500 block.
Okay, 531 Clematis Street. What's the incident?
It's an assault. It's a thrown drink. No, but it was, no, I'm fine, thank you.
Are they still
no,
there?
It was a repeated incident. No, I'm still here, yes. It was a repeated incident. It was harassment on top of the repeated drink. The thrown drink.
And they threw a drink at you?
Yes, thank you. I'm fine. No, it was a repeated incident. It was a verbal assault outside and then a thrown drink inside.
Okay, and where is
I would
the
just like to
subject
make
that
an
threw the
official
drink?
report. Yeah, no, I would just like to make an official report.
Okay, where is the person that threw the drink?
She's already left the premises.
Okay.
But I have
And
her
your name?
information, her date of birth, her phone number,
Okay.
just so if it happens again, so I can file a restraining order. It has happened repeatedly.
Okay, what is your name, please?
And a good date of birth.
And your phone number? All right, I have the call in for service. We're going to get someone out there as soon as possible, okay?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem. Bye-bye.
All right, when they send out the 911 calls, they mute the names, right? But could you imagine being the 911 operator and says, and what's your name? Casey Anthony. She's like, what? All right, let's bring in our special guest. We got to get to the bottom of this one. Joining us from West Palm Beach, Florida, the state attorney for Palm Beach County, Florida, Dave Arenberg. Dave, this is, I know you're busy, but we appreciate you coming on tonight. Big investigation going on down there. You know, was there just one drink thrower? Were there two? How deep is your investigation tonight?
Good evening, Vinny. It's good to see you on a Tuesday rather than our usual Wednesday night. The investigation has not reached our office. This is just a police matter where they approached Casey Anthony on the scene and they filled out an incident report, but it has not been submitted to our office. So apparently they have not found that there was probable cause of a crime has been committed, but also it seems that Miss Anthony did not want to take it any further. This apparently is a feud that's going on with this other individual who, according to reports, is involved with the same man or ex-boyfriend. There's a guy involved, and this has happened more than once, but it has never reached our office.
Okay, I've got the report right here. Let me just read part of it for you, Dave, and for the folks at home, obviously. And this is the officer notes. It says, I made contact with Casey Anthony, and it gives the date of birth and everything, who advised she was in a verbal argument with Thema Moya about an ex-boyfriend. They were dating at the same time. Seems like she should be mad at the guy, not the girl. Anyway, Anthony stated the argument got heated and Moya spilled water on her left leg. Anthony wanted the incident documented. I informed her about how to file a restraining order. However, Anthony advised she did not wish to do that at this time, although it's been an ongoing issue for years. And then the female advised that she keeps getting drinks thrown in her face. Okay, let's start with spilling water on the leg, Dave. Is that a violation of any of Florida statutes?
Yeah, it could be. It could be, and it's interesting. She says the water on her leg, and then said it's been happening on her face. Either way, if someone throws a drink in your face, yeah, that could be an assault and battery. A battery is an unwanted touching. It's just a misdemeanor, and it's a very low bar. So you could file charges, but she apparently didn't want to go that far. And then if you want a restraining order, that's not even our office. That's something that's handled on your own with the court system, and you can get that restraining order. But she didn't even want to do that here. And I do find it interesting, Vinny, as you said, that she was very quick to call the police when this happened, when she never called the police when her daughter was missing.
Yeah, I think that's the part that a lot of people, it's going to rub a lot of people the wrong way. Now, obviously, she was found not guilty of the murder. She's found guilty of some check fraud stuff and lying to police, and some stuff's been overturned, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But everyone's entitled to be able to go out and not have drinks thrown in their face, obviously. So what would you suggest to someone who's in her position at this point? When do you go to try to get a restraining order? What's the level of fear that people need to be in, or what's the level of conduct that would even get to that point from your perspective?
Well, it's up to the individual to determine whether they're in fear of someone else. And if they are, then go to a court and get a restraining order. And you have to show a certain amount of evidence. You just can't just say, hey, I just am in fear. You have to show that it was an incident that happened, and there's a certain standard. But our office is not even involved because it's not a criminal matter until someone violates the restraining order. Now, once someone violates a restraining order, then it becomes a crime, and then we get involved. But until then, we never see it. We don't participate in it. And it's up to the individual to go get it. You have to, and the restraining order keeps that person away from you. And if this continues to happen, as she says it has happened, then yeah, the police gave her the good advice. Hey, you may want to get a restraining order, but she didn't even want to get that. So this seems like some self-inflicted drama, that she doesn't want to get the restraining order. She didn't want police to go any further. She just wanted a record of it. And also, the police are not quick to start filing charges when someone starts, pouring water on your leg. Now, maybe if it went right in her face, that'd be a different story. But this seems to be it's like real small potatoes incident. And the only reason why it's news is because the individual is Casey Anthony.
Oh, absolutely. Of course. That's why everyone wonders, what's life like? Because at one point she was the most hated woman in America. We haven't taken the poll recently. She may still be in the top 10. I don't know. Haven't run the numbers recently. Are you surprised, though, that someone who has lived relatively under the radar for some time now would because she knows if she makes that call and she's given their name, someone's going to hear it, someone's going to find out, and people like me are going to talk about it.
Vinny, she has not lived under the radar locally. A lot of people in town have seen
Really?
her. I even ran into her. I was shocked. I was at a funeral for a criminal defense lawyer who died way too young, and outside, she introduced herself to me, and I was shocked. So she's not under the radar at all.
Wait, time out. How does she introduce herself?
Well, after the funeral, we were in, people were talking in groups, and there was a woman in the group I was talking to that looked familiar, and she saw me and seemed like she recognized me, and I was like, I looked at her and she said, Dave Ehrenberg, and I said, yes. He said, Casey Anthony. And I'm usually not speechless very often, but I was speechless then. And she's not keeping a low profile. She was videoed at a rally of the women's rally, I think like after Trump was elected back in 2017, I think after he took office. She was at a rally here locally holding up a sign. And so she is not keeping a low profile here. A lot of people have seen her. I'm not surprised she called the police. And this seems to be very typical for a course of conduct. She's hiding in plain sight. All
right. Dave Ehrenberg, appreciate you coming on last minute for us tonight as we got our hands on this phone call to get to the bottom, because we heard there was a bar fight, but not really a fight. There was a little bit of water that was spilled, and hopefully it ends there. Dave Ehrenberg, thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it.